Conor Benn is going to fight recently tonight. I feel like he's in a bit of a precarious position because he's not quite ready for the top guys in his division. Yet he keeps taking these fights where he is building experience and he is getting some rounds under his belt, but he's not in a position where he looks like he's strategically trying to align himself in a position to win a title. Now the guy he's going to fight, his name is called Chris Van Heerden. I'm a little bit familiar with him. I think he was an IBO champion if I'm not mistaken, but just saying that this is a fight that he's obviously expected to win, but I feel like to some extent he's not really done much in the way of actually building his career to that position. Like, if he gets a win over this guy, like, it's not going to set him up for a big fight, is it? To be fair though, I would say one thing, he has steadily been increasing his level of competition. Like, he beat Granados, he beat Algieri, he had a rematch against a guy that a lot of people thought beat him. I mean, to some extent, like, I'll be honest with you, he does he has steadily been have been increasing his level of opposition, but this guy, he should literally blow out of there. I mean, he's more experienced than he is, but he's round 34. He's beaten a few good opposition, but I don't think he's anything that special. His most notable opponent was Errol Spence Jr. and Jerome Ennis. Now, Jerome Ennis, obviously everyone's hyped on Jerome Ennis. The only person that's not that hyped on him is obviously Sean Porter, and rightly so. He's in a position where he's got a good point in saying that everyone's hyped on Jerome Ennis, but Jerome Ennis has not done anything yet that's on a level that deserves the recognition that he's getting right now. But that, to be fair, that's a video for another story. But to be fair, Van Heerden has fought Jerome Ennis, and to be fair, the fight stopped because of a head clash, so it's a no decision loss to him. And obviously he fought Spence Jr. Spence Jr. completely dominated and dropped him twice before the referee saw enough and stopped the fight in the 8th round. So from that position, he has been in there with a high level of opposition, and he has, to some extent, I want to say he held his own, because he did get destroyed by Spence Jr. But I'd say he was game in them fights against them opponents. IBO champion, so he's not won a major title. But I think he's a fighter that's good enough for Conor Benn to get some experience under his belt and get the experience that he needs when he does eventually step up. He needs that level of experience where he's fighting a wily veteran who's been in there against good level of opposition. So yeah, from that perspective, it's a good step up fight. But at the same time, I think her fans are getting a little bit impatient. They want a fight where they can really see what Conor Benn is about. I think Conor Benn has improved drastically from when he first started, but he's still got a long way to go. I mean, if you look at the most elite prospects in the welterweight division, he's not even on the wavelength of the likes of the Jerome Ennis's and who's that other guy that's in that division that everyone's hyped on? I think Virgil Ortiz. Yeah, he's not on the same wavelength when it comes to them fighters. I mean, they're just on a whole nother level. They're in a position where they could be fighting for titles. And don't get me started, he's nowhere near on the level of the Errol Spences and Crawfords of the world. That's just on a whole nother platitude. Them fighters are like literally on the pound for pound list. Like, they're both on the top 10 pound for pound, seen by most people as top 10 pound for pound. So yeah, from my experience, this is a good step up fight for him. It's a respectable fight. But I feel like he's gonna have to look very impressive here, because it's a good gauging fight, because obviously Van Heerden's been in there against Jerome Ennis, he's been in there against Spence Jr. So if he looks really good in there and blows him out in the first round, then it will be impressive. It will be a very impressive victory. So yeah, from my perspective, I think it's a good fight for him. But he does have a long way to go to some extent. When he's getting in there against these types of fighters, he's gonna really have to show how good he actually is, because he is actually going in there against top fighters. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Tell me your opinion about this. What do you think about this? I think Conor Benn should blow him out there. He should beat him within 10 rounds. If he takes way longer, then questions will be raised, and a lot of people will be thinking if he's the legit guy. I think he's legit, but I don't know if he's as good as the Virgil Ortiz's and Jerome Ennis's of the world. But I think it's a good fight for him to like gauge how good he is. I would give a lot of props to Conor Benn's management team. They've stepped him up in the right way with the right fights to develop him, but I still don't know if he's ready for the top fighters in his division, because welterweight historically is one of the best divisions in boxing in terms of competitive fighters, competitive fights. I mean, for the longest time, the greatest fighters in the world have come from that division. So I just think Conor Benn, I've always had the feeling that he should go down to light welter. I think light welter will be better for him than welter. But we'll soon enough see how good he is based on this performance against Van Heerden. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Tell me your opinion. What do you think Conor Benn should do if he wins this against Chris Heerden? Do you think he should step up to some level of opposition? But yeah, that's just my opinion. Tell me your opinion below, and like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. Peace out.